That's just in closing. I mean, you talk a lot about PH in this, but of course your articles were from 2019. Those articles you talk about PH, and I could be wrong, but the perception I get when I read your interpretation of PH then sounds to me like a scene from Three Stooges where they are sort of fumbling from like one mousetrap to the other. You know, that sort of uncertainty, unsureness about how to rule and all that after being opposition for so long. What do you think about this current unity government? And to be fair, Sabah and Sarawak have a much bigger role here now.
Okay, let's talk about the PH government for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Because that was a watershed moment for us, because we think that when PH came into power, that Sabah and Sarawak be recognized as equal partners.
Yes.
And the 20% oil royalty was promised to us by Mahathir. Now, if you look, unfortunately, people don't read. You should read the Pakatan Harapana manifesto, PH manifesto. Written, and the covering of that manifesto was signed by Mahathir himself, who was Prime Minister for 23 years, okay, and became another 2 years the PH government. Now, what he wrote is interesting. He condemned UMNO. He's from UMNO, as you know. That he said they have robbed Sabah and Sarawak and made broken promises. Okay, that's why we are what we are today. Now, here's a Prime Minister of 23 years plus 2, admitting what UMNO has did. It's written in black and white, you know, and people don't realize. Of course, when we saw the manifesto or promise of 20%, we voted for PH, and not knowing the mess that we going to go into, and what they started the successive change of government in a one election period. So coming back today, a taxi driver asked me the other day, okay, what do you think of Anwar Ibrahim? The famous question.
Yeah.
I have to be frank, I said, I don't think much of Anwar Ibrahim. My first chapter, I think it was I credit him as Prime Minister. After so long. So yeah. We're all hopeful, all right, that things to happen. But what I fear, I see Anwar is bending to the extreme masses, okay, and not making his stand. I mean, he's known as the reformist Prime Minister, but he's not a reformist Prime Minister. And what I'm worried about is pushing for more Islamic things rather than managing the country multiracial way. And for example, we fear the RU 355 coming back again to haunt us. You know, more strict Shariah laws, Islamic laws, overtaking civil laws. Okay, I think when we signed the Malaysia Agreement 1960, it's clear that we adhere to the Constitution and respect the Constitution. There should not be any changes, and have a competing law that will affect us, you know, as a nation. Because it's not just the religious aspect, but the impact of how the world sees us later on in the business world and all that. Because when, you know, the Islamic world doesn't have a very good reputation because of all these terrorists and so on, bombings and all that. It's very unfortunate. I mean, we are not like that, of course, but unfortunately, the world perceives us as that. You know? I mean, a Muslim like me, a very peaceful person, respect others, and so we become a stereotype of terrorist bombs and so on. And then the more you promote Islam along that way, in the extreme way, then you're going to have this challenge from East Malaysia, especially, you know, who abhor this kind of Islamic tentacles reaching out, restricting our way of life. You know? So I always say to my Christian friends that you guys have nothing to worry about. I mean, as Muslim, we have to worry about how we behave. You know, we go out there, sit next to a woman. You know, they charge you for close proximity, or if you go to a pub, even though you don't drink alcohol, you drink kind of Coke. You know, the Islamic police will raid you and catch you same time. I mean, why are we fearing that, and why are we fearing these kind of things? Is because we don't want to live under the Taliban state. I mean, if you want to live under the Taliban state, please go ahead. I'll buy you a ticket. You go and stay with them and see whether you like it. So I think Malaysia has to go back to respecting each other, religion, belief, customs, that. Try to lead a harmonious life. It's just not going to a restaurant and see a cross and say, hey, why is this cross here? This is supposed to be a Muslim serving roti canai and nasi lemak. But something is not a cross, but it looks like a cross, and you make a big deal of it.
I think there was a case about it you mentioned.
So many cases.
Yeah.
That's why I said I don't react to all this nonsense. But we have to make a decision whether you want to go the Shariah way or you want to go to the civil way. Okay? So most of us, I think 90% of us, are comfortable with the civil laws and the constitution that we respect, and confident that justice will prevail under the system. Just like what happened to Najib. I mean, it's a clear case. The justice doesn't work. For corrupt cases, right? I know people don't like me saying that, but that's the truth. But I mean, the judges don't put somebody in jail for trumped up accusations, right? I mean, we have a very good civil system, law, judges, and all that, and I think we should respect their decision, and they came based on evidence and so on, right? But still, people think Najib is innocent.
Yeah.
Right? So, but when you pushing for Shariah law, what is it about? Because are you saying that the Muslims are bad people? That's why we need more punishment, more heavy penalty. I mean, isn't your duty after getting 1.3 billion, Mr. Jakim? Isn't your duty to educate the people in a moderate way, to respect each other's rights, instead of pushing for more punishment? Punishment, if you study punishment, I don't know my research, has never stopped people from stealing or committing rape or what. Okay? Heavy penalty never did that. All right? So counseling and teaching people the right values are more important.